What's up, YouTube? So today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to mix it up. This isn't something I normally do, but let's give it a try. So recently, I had an opportunity to ride a stock beta cross trainer and traditional Enduro 300. That traditional Enduro 300 was in the form of a KTM 300XC. I rode these back to back, and I thought it would be interesting to talk about the differences between the two bikes. See, anyone who is shopping and considering a cross trainer or any hybrid variant, such as a Gas Ranger or something of the like, is inevitably going to question whether they should just go with a traditional Enduro as opposed to committing to what many feel is a niche dirt bike.
Ride the Mighty 300?
Oh, yeah, I'll ride your bike.
You gotta kick it.
Oh, God, man. Fucking savage here. I gotta kick it.
The differences between these two bikes are pretty apparent as soon as you get on them. The KTM out of the box is 50 horsepower from the factory, whereas the cross trainer's 35 maybe stock. Where's that extra 10 to 15 horsepower on that KTM 300XC? Well, twist the throttle and it bursts through your door like a sexual predator. Initial impression once you get into that top end, sheer, unadulterated violence. Riding this thing can only be summed up with analogy. I'd say swimming with sharks, perhaps riding a panther. Dangerous, fun, outstanding.
Oh, this feels pretty normal.
The main differences between these two bikes, engine-wise, would be how the cross trainer delivers its top end. The cross trainer's top end meanders through the door like your great uncle, slow, easy to get along with, but poses very little threat to your physical well-being. Is this a bad thing? Not in my opinion. If you like slow technical life, a controllable power band is great. The cross trainer is less tiring and unnervingly predictable when the trail is anything but. As for the KTM 300XC, if you're ripping through the woods like Taddy Blazuziak, then maybe that violent top end is just what you need to live your best life. At 216 pounds wet, the cross trainer does feel more flickable, but the KTM 300XC isn't that far behind at 226 Austrian fantasy pounds. I'd put it closer to 235 wet, but regardless of weight, I definitely didn't have a problem throwing the KTM into corners, and it tracks very well. It wasn't the whale that I thought it would be. It actually felt very good immediately. The height of the KTM 300XC is both taller, and it definitely feels wider, for sure. And you will notice that difference if you come off of a smaller bike. It's not a bad thing at all generally, except when you're shorter and you want to ride the hard stuff, and you just want the comfort and confidence of being able to put 2 feet down, pick a line, and go for that hard step up on a rock face. Great riders, doesn't matter. They're going to kill it on a tall bike or a short bike, but for the uninitiated, that shorter frame size, that narrower width, lower seat height of the Beta really gives a newer rider confidence. I know that I can get a boot down to dab, if need be, or stop in some precarious position to adjust my line with 2 very overpriced CDs planted directly onto the ground, and that feeling is priceless. Cross trainer suspension is soft. It's very soft. It's great for slow technical stuff, but deadly anytime you want to go fast. If you encounter chop of any kind going fast, it's lights out. The stock suspension will eventually become a deal breaker for anyone who desires to go fast. It is what it is. But in the cross trainer's defense, it's not made to go fast. It's made to loft the front wheel over trail trash, climb rocks like a billy goat, and never stall. It does all this on a plush trials, being the key word, inspired suspension. You're likely not launching a trials bike over a double, and the same should be said for the cross trainer. Obviously, out of the box, the KTM is going to win the suspension category. It's truly a tool designed to get you across the finish line, hopefully in one piece. The WP suspension is stiffer, provides good feedback, is infinitely adjustable compared to the cross trainer, and loves to be tested. Literally the opposite of the cross trainer, whose suspension hates to be tested, but it has no problem testing your resolve if you ask too much of it. Ask me how I know. So, which one of these bikes is more fun? Man, that's honestly a tough question. On wider, more open trails where you could just go balls out, gotta give the edge to the KTM. It's fun, like, hey, let's go shoot this bear with a slingshot and run away giggling. It's that type of fun. Adrenaline is the oldest and truest form of entertainment. On the gnarly and slow, I gotta take the cross trainer, and due mostly to its size. They both feel like they have similar grunt down low, with the cross trainer actually leading slightly in this department. And even if all things were equal in the low revs, I'll take the smaller bike as I am slightly directionally challenged. And its infallible low end torque and predictability make it far less tiring to ride, especially on rocky, ruddy, dirty single track. And at this point in my life, dirty single track is all I want to ride. On the flip side, the KTM 300XC will make you feel like you're going faster, and boy, does it howl when doing so. It feels like you're sitting on a pressure cooker that's ready to let go. There is something to be said for feeling like you're in danger at all times. So final thoughts to those people who can't decide to go with the traditional 300 or a hybrid 300 like the cross trainer. Really depends on what you want to do with it. I'd say that if you're 100% trying to go fast, the KTM 300XC, XCW, Beta 300RR, Gas, EC300, they're all great choices, and they're all going to be very good at everything you throw at it in the woods. The cross trainer, though, is a bike that's designed to be able to go on tough trails, and in average rider's hands, it's hands down the best for tight black diamond or double black diamond single track. It's really good at one thing, but unfortunately it kind of makes it mediocre at all the other things that are not tight, tough single track. If all you ride is single track, or you just like taking it easy in general, it's a great choice. If you have plans to race, well, there is hope. If you want to keep this smaller bike, you can purchase a real suspension for the cross trainer, and it will be much better at everything. Much better. While retaining 90% of what makes it good at gnarly single track. And namely low-end grunt and predictability. And importantly, if you're a shorter rider, it's diminutive size. So, what should you do? You really got to calculate what you want to do with this thing. And if you can't, you can always buy both. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Also ring that bell.